So let's get going with the offset function, which will basically return the reference value with respect to the reference argument, right? So I'll just focus on that more, and we'll do some more applications with respect to this function. Let me get my page also just to recall what things we have to do. So starting with the very simple option of the offset function, I have to make a very small table, which I'll make. And so let me just come to the new sheet. Wait. So let me just make a very small matrix of few numbers which I can use. So to start with, I will keep it very simple so that we can actually check the calculations that we are getting at the end of the day. So let me just put it like this. And you can also do the same thing, or you can just wait for me to complete this. Then we have this. And offset function is very important. When I was reading about that, there is a lot to be done with this. It's not a very small function like sum, or if it will have very limited applications that we can do with this. So I have 41 and 42. So I have limited numbers which I have kept here in the cell. All right. So in this particular case, I have this small matrix with me, which is starting from A column going on till E column, and the rows are from 1 to 7. And what I'll do, I'll just write in a very systematic manner what we are doing. So the very first thing that we'll do, we'll try to see the offset function. Let me just write first so that you know. So the very first thing that we are doing is the 0, comma, no, let me first do with this, where we are giving row and column. So I'll say equal to, please be clear about the spelling mistakes which may happen when you're writing the function or you're writing any other bracket. Say I write A1, comma, 1, comma, 1, and I close the bracket. Oh, wait a minute. Did I put extra bracket? Yes, there is extra bracket over there. So please be clear about the answers and the format that you're mentioning. So we got 12 over here. I will highlight this 12 number just to track down the number that we are getting. So in the A10 cell, I wrote equal to offset A1. I'll keep my cursor at A1. From A1, it further says comma 1, comma 1. That means from A1, it is asking me to go one row down and then one row on the right side of the column. And 12 is the value which is corresponding to 1, comma 1. In a similar manner, if I write in the same category, I got this answer again. If I just change it, I say B2, I say 2 by 2, and I close the bracket, and I get 34 as the answer. Let me just highlight this. So I repeat what I wrote. I wrote starting from B2, that is from 12, go 2 rows down, that is 13 and 14, and from 14th value, you go 2 columns on the right side. And when I go on the right side, 24, 34 is the answer which I get over here. So this example was fairly clear when we are trying to give the reference number and just the column and the row. Similarly, we have another option. Just in case, we are trying to give, I say A1, and then I say 0 and 0. This is the second option after, where we are categorically mentioning row and column. Now, in this particular case, I have mentioned 0 and 0 as a row and column. So let's see what we get. Now, if I press enter, you will see that I wrote A1, and when I have not given any number for row and column, it will give me the value which is stored in A1. That is 1 as per A1. Similarly, if I write it like this, offset, bracket, let me write C2 for an example, comma, 0, comma, 0, and then I close the bracket, I get 22 as the answer, which is indeed C2 defined in my function. That means the category 2 is the option where we are mentioning 0 row and 0 column. That means it it is asking the function not to move down or not to move on the right side. Whatever value is being stored in the reference cell, that particular value will be returned by this particular argument. Third option is, we may also give a scenario such as zero, row or zero column. I'll write like that. So zero row or zero column, vice versa. So I say like this. So this is a third category of the inputs that we are doing. So just remember, the very first category was wherein we are mentioning the number for the row and column. And that way we are very clear in the last class also that these many number of rows it will go down and these many number of columns it will go on the right side, and accordingly that number will be returned by the offset function. Second category is where I'm not mentioning any number for the row and column. And in that case, whatever number is being stored in the reference cell that is mentioned as an argument in offset function, that value will be returned in the offset function. So if I wrote equal to offset bracket A1 comma 00, since it is mentioning 0 over there, it is not asking me to go down or go on the right side. It will return the value which is being stored at the particular cell. The same thing happened when we had C2 comma 00. So it didn't move down or it didn't move on the right. It actually gave me the answer 22. Oh,